Hi everyone, we're back to the calendar and we're on to October. And this is where I'm going to show you a little cool trick with layering. Now, before MDS 2 came along, we had to do digi-punch art, manipulating the layers on our page. And sometimes, depending on the punches that you use in digi-punch art, you might need to do that, and I'll show you why. This headstone, if I show you, I'll click on it and move it, is created using one of the framelits in digiform. You can see this shape here. But when I have it in the position that I had it, obviously you can't see the little tail that comes out the side. And the way that I've done that is by positioning the framelit where I want it to be on my page, and then putting in a square. You can see this square here. And then added a rectangle punch here. You can see this. You see it? And I've hidden the little tag that sits outside. And that's all you need to do. But if obviously I've had to put one on this side too. You can see that there. Move it up so you can see it. See? And that just hides the tags. Now I could have gone and done this. I could have taken the punch and hit crop, and I could have cropped my punch to the shape that I wanted. Here we go. And it would have done the same thing. I'd just adjust the crop a little bit. But there's an awful lot of playing around with the crop. I'm not sure that I'm going to get it exactly the same on both sides. See? So the easiest thing I think to do with digi-punch art is to just use another layer on top of your first layer, and that cuts off, it hides the little tag. The other thing on this page I wanted you to be aware of is this grass is a grass punch. Here it is here. So sometimes we're lucky and we have things in My Digital Studio in digital format that we don't get traditionally because Stampin' Up! Don't produce a grass punch, but we have it digitally, which is good fun. It's a little extra. Okay, so now we're going to go on to November, and I want to show you how to colour in within a stamped image, within a stamped line. So I've shown you how to colour a stamp, but what if you want to colour in an image? So I'm just going to give myself a blank page again. Now I'm going to go to the stamps, and I'm going to add, I want the Day of Gratitude stamp. Here we go. And I'm going to use this leaf. So I've applied it and I'm going to close it, and it comes up black. What I want to do now though, if I was working in my project, would be position it where it needs to be, and there's a reason for that. I'll show you in a few minutes. Let's say that I wanted to put it down here, and I'm going to recolor the actual leaf. So let's say I'm going to want it green. I want my leaf green. Here we go. I've coloured it green. Now the only problem with this is it doesn't colour inside the leaves because this stamp is a stamped outline. It doesn't colour inside. So what you do now is you go to Freeform and add a brush layer, and you'll see that this brush layer comes up, and I have a brush, the same black circle as I had before. Now what I want to do is to move that brush layer over the top of my leaf. So I now have it there. Then I'm going to double click to colour in. I'm going to change my colour because it defaults to white or grey. And I'm going to click a different green, and I have this huge brush, but I'm going to colour in anyway. Here we go. colour it in. It takes a while to use your mouse and to get used to using the mouse that you want to use. And let's just say that I want a different colour around the outside on these dots. So I'm waiting on the change colour palette to come up, and I'm just going to go with red. I'm going to keep the circle brush, but you have the choice of going to half circle or square, and I'm going to just make my brush a little smaller. And here's the red here. Go around the outside. It's probably going to be too large. If you go over the line, or if you make a mess here like this, you can just click erase, and then you can erase out the mistake that you made. So now I have green leaves with one red dot. So I'm just going to clear this little bit up here. Oh. And go back to brush and add back in again. Okay. So then I go back to my page, I click off my page, and I have a very ugly looking leaf that's kind of coloured in. I go back to my layers, and again I can go to the layers on this menu. I can do Shift Command L, or I can do Arrange, Order, Layers. And my paint is at the top, you can see that there. And this is my stamp. So I'm just going to take my paint and put it under my stamp. Click OK, and there we go. There I've got my coloured in leaves and the red. I've obviously put too thick a red line there. And that's how you colour in a stamp. The last one we have to talk about is December. And the reason I chose December was to show you that the stamp sets that you can get traditionally, you can also get in digital format. Not always. Everything on this page, apart from the calendar aspect, you can get in traditional format. So this is the Ornament Keepsakes stamp set. I've used it digitally. And this is the Lovely as a Tree stamp set, and I've coloured it in with the brown for the bark and then different coloured greens for the pines. And then this is the Be of Good Cheer designer paper on the bottom. So everything on this page is traditional, and if I got it printed out with Stampin' Up, I had coloured this in Cherry Cobbler and this is Gumball Green, so I know that my Gumball Green ribbon will match this and my Cherry Cobbler ribbon will match. I've also given you on the hybrid another ornament in here that we stamped and cut ourselves. The last thing I want to quickly mention is that I have added a back page and I've put a QR code. You can go to the QR maker online, put in a web address or contact details or anything you want, put it into a QR code and save it as a JPEG, and then all I've done here is created a punch and imported it as a picture, and that's how I got my QR code on the back. Thanks very much for watching my videos on MDS, and I hope that's helped you get started. Bye!